Hey everybody, welcome to Chicks and Salsa tonight. And it's your favorite, most talkative chicks because we interrupt each other and other people. What up, Carrie Berry? How's your week going?
It's going pretty good. Yours?
Pretty good, thanks.
I
Um,
decided to echo the weather that we've had for the last, I don't know, is it 40 days? I think we're in the middle of the 40 days and 40 nights of rain. So my hair's wet. It has rained more than it has stayed dry in the last week, 10 days. I don't know. We we
that's fun.
finally got our mower back, and there was a window of about 35 minutes where Rob was not mowing while it was raining. But we had mowed for 2.5 weeks because I broke a lawnmower. So it had
Oh,
to be done.
really?
Yep. When your grass is knee high, it's kind of a problem.
Just a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, we got our grass cut the other day. So I did want to make an announcement because we were supposed to have Marcus Pinson on tonight. I know we were both looking forward to talking to him. But there have been some technical difficulties, and I should not insult you, StreamYard, but it is because of StreamYard that Marcus is not on right now. But we will reschedule to have him on at a later date. He has such an amazing story of love and fortitude and like working on changing mobility for millions of people. So, and I know it's a side passion project of Carrie's as well. So I know that it's going to be when we do get him on, and I'm hoping in the next 2 weeks, we're going to be working this weekend on trying to fix that issue. But Carrie and I are going to talk about a little WNBA, maybe a little NFL rumors, some people making jokes that they shouldn't make because otherwise they're good guys. some
I was going to say I have yet to watch the Tom Brady roast, and that's on our list. Begrudgingly, I'm going to watch it, but then I also think I'm going to like it because Tom Brady said he was naive about it and he won't do it again. What did you think a roast was? Them bringing you peanuts and turkeys and such?
well,
Um,
my favorite was when he said to Kim Kardashian, Kim, I know being here is really scary tonight. Leaving your children with their father, that's got to be terrifying or something like that. And Kim just kind of shrugged.
there
Like she
was
knows.
there's so many things that I'm like, it just like I said, just bits and pieces. I'm thinking that people were offended, and I'm like, this is not something new. Have you not watched any roast previously to understand what this is?
Yeah,
But
but Carrie, people are always going to get offended. I mean, it doesn't.
um,
Sometimes a roast is just a roast, but Tom got paid big for it.
yeah, he starts his commentators role
Hmm.
this year. See that we have Jason Kelsey joining Monday Night Football. I don't know what we're
Yeah.
going to do without Booger telling us what breaking down a play for us, but uh, hopefully
Okay.
that.
I've been kind of slammed at work lately. Today was my favorite day in a very long time at work. I shouldn't admit that on air, but it was. But we but what's going on with Greg Olson? Like, I think Fox was going to keep a spot for him to commentate, but I can't recall.
I don't know. There's a lot of. It was a little shocking that was at the NFL Network laid off like so many people. Like lots of people are gone now.
Yeah. And then ESPN did the same thing. Um, then who else did it? Oh, Pac-12 has been picked up by the CW for this coming season. So I'm really hoping they bring Ashley Adamson back. She was one of my most well-liked interviews that I had from Super Bowl last year. She's just such a cool person. Like, she's my cool person crush. I'm not gonna lie. Um, just very sweet, very down to earth, just a great person all in all. So I really hope she got picked back up too. But I thought the Pac-12 was dissimulating too. Or is that just the Pac-12 network?
No, there's two. There's two. There was 2 teams of the original Pac-12 left.
Oh, okay. That's right. Everybody came to the ACC. So,
2 teams. So I mean, when you only have to cover 2 teams.
Yeah. True. That's going to be a short schedule. Now, there has been some crazy signings today. I know, Kari, your guy, Marcus Scantling, is expected to sign with the Bills if he hasn't already today, for 1 year. The Bills have been and I know I shouldn't talk about the Bills, but they've been very busy today because they've signed Curtis Samuel. They obviously drafted Ken Coleman. They're still doing work on their wide receiver room. Tell me your thoughts on that, because I know there's that AFC rivalry right there.
So I have a lot of respect for McDermott. Bills fans, those that have followed us know that I was on a cruise that left New York City in January, and I watched the playoff game with the Bills on a cruise ship, with a lot of Bills fans.
Yeah.
And yeah, that aside, I don't know. They seem to go after those players that have hit a peak and are starting on a decline, and they keep re-upping with just a fresh batch of those every once, And I don't know if it's because they can't recruit, if they don't. I don't understand, because, the Chiefs are not chasing wide receivers. They're just recruiting them. I mean, we do have Hollywood Brown, but we also have Hollywood Brown. We have Worthy. And then, we've got the fastest wide receiver room, because we have those were 2 of the hot top combine. And then we have Rashee Rice that knows how to drive at 116 miles an hour. So we've got a very fast wide receiver room. But we do, and I'm sorry, that was a really bad joke. I'm a little miffed about that whole situation with him, but life goes on. Brad Beach is very good at drafting, and I don't know if they don't have any. If the Bills don't have the powerhouse in a draft room that they need, I don't know what that missing component is, because they've had fantastic teams on paper,
right?
And they
really have that amazing.
So that's where I'm I do not understand how they. Well, I mean, look at the Dolphins too. On paper, these 2 teams are phenomenal. There should not be anybody touching them. They can't get past. The Bills have got to the championship round in the AFC, but the Chiefs have taken that. So I don't know if they just. I don't understand. There's something with their program that there's a hiccup. Is it the recruiting? Is it the training where they peak too soon during the season? What is it that's keeping them from making that final push? And maybe it's with letting go their offensive coordinator. It was late in the season last year. Maybe that's going to be the difference. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Right. It will be. And I know, I've been impressed. Obviously, I follow the Panthers closer than anything else. Everything Dan and Dave have done this year so far since taking over. Dave was out there, their photos on X and on Facebook, obviously, of Dave out there working out with the rookies, doing the drills right alongside the rookies. I love that. You don't see that a lot in a coach.
I don't think Andy Reid is doing workouts anymore.
Right.
I think he gets a pass.
Workouts anymore. But you know what's really interesting? I'm very curious how Kirk Cousins is feeling down in Atlanta. I know we've talked about this, but somebody actually asked him, "Hey, if you had known that they were gonna take a QB with the number 8 pick, would you still have signed in Elena? He said, and Kirk's response was, I don't deal in hypotheticals. You can't ask somebody that question. You're not going to, that's the answer you have to give for anyone.
I was going to say, how is he supposed to answer that anyway? How did they think that was going to be a viable question? Because honestly, you get asked something like that and it's like a job interview. No, I don't know. I was not. I wouldn't have. And now my entire play is canned because I responded to a reporter's stupid question.
Right.
And you have to admire him for saying something like that. I did think it was kind of funny when they were talking about the Atlanta Braves and their draft picks going to be picking a quarterback as well with their first round pick. Thought that was really funny.
That's true. So we have I know we have the Olympics coming up. We'll probably need to ask Troy if he'll when he gets back from France, if he'll hop on and tell us about his experience, if you're okay with that.
Absolutely.
But, so obviously Simone Biles and Gabby Douglas are just winning things hand over fist right now on gymnastics meets. I'm excited to see what these two bust out. Because last year, Simone was the oldest gymnast to win the U.S. Gymnastics Championship at the age of 26, because that's archaic, right? So,
gosh, I wish I was 20 old woman at 26.
Right. So I don't know. I'm really excited about that. Kari, and I'm sorry, guys. We really wanted Marcus to be on tonight. Darn you, StreamYard. But what are you expecting out of the Olympics this summer? What are you looking forward to the most?
Honestly, my favorite events in the summer are the gymnastics and the diving competitions. Those are my favorite, and synchronized swimming is impressive to me, but those are the ones that I will be paying closest attention to. But you think about the world's fastest man and the world's fastest woman this last year were both USA titles. So that would be interesting in the track and field events to see how that plays out. But yeah.
So, I was a swimmer. So my big thing is always swimming. And then it's a toss up between diving and gymnastics. Because some of those dives are just amazing.
Okay, so Greg Louganis was my most favorite diver ever. And I was watching when he hit his head, the whole thing. That was my big thing, that Greg Louganis, and he's the one that captured me into watching all the dives, and then how impressive that is. I also like the opening and closing ceremonies, and I don't know why it is, other than it's just a true display of culture and people that are super excited to be competing on the world stage, knowing that 98% of those people will not be on a podium anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
They won't even most of them won't even make it into the finals. So just looking at the true joy and excitement that those people are showing, you can just feel the pride and the sense of accomplishment that those people, when they're carrying their flags or they're representing their country. And it's neat for me to watch that. That makes the world a community. It's in that moment.
Yeah. And I mean, just you and I are both former athletes, so we know, we have an inkling of what it takes. So I don't know. I'm just excited for the Olympics. They're obviously one of my favorite things to follow. I'm also excited shortly after that we get NFL back on TV, even if it's preseason. So question for you, because you nailed this last year. You nailed it last year, Kari Johnson, Chiefs.
What did I do?
you called who you thought was going to the Super Bowl and who the surprise team was going to be for the NFL.
Oops. I did that, didn't I?
Yes, you did. And you bragged about it all year. You deserve to, though. You had every right to brag about that.
Well, I mean, sometimes when you're good. Obviously, I'm going to hope that my team gets there for the three-peat simply because it hasn't been done before. So, yeah, I would like to see that. But the whole
oh, James, what's going on with Caitlin right now? We're on air live right now and scrambling. So give us some good details, buddy.
I really haven't decided yet on who I'm going to choose for the Super Bowl yet. I don't think that the Lions are any longer going to be our surprise. I am very interested to see how Caleb and the Bears work out.
Yeah.
Oops. First quarter on the bench with 2 fouls. Not good.
Oh, that's not good.
So I'll be interested to see if the Bears finally get something that their fan base has deserved, that they could have had potentially with Mahomes and chose to go with Trubisky. I'll be interested to see that. I feel like Caleb Williams wasn't as impressive this last year as a quarterback as he had been the year before. I don't know if it was because he was in a new conference. He left the Big 12 and they went over to he followed his coach. Cowboys, I would not put money on that, sir.
And we love Megan, and Megan's a sane Cowboys fan, so
yes.
she'd actually be on our side too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just yes. I do hope that the Cowboys has something in this century to latch onto instead of last century, but I don't think it's this year. I'm kind of just right now. I don't really have any. You do have to have faith in your team, and good for you. But yeah, I don't know. I had been willing to put odds, play money. If I had been in a betting state, I would have put money down on the Chiefs for a three-peat because the odds were pretty phenomenal, and it would have been a really interesting payout. But I didn't do it, so it's too late now for me. I don't know.
Yeah,
I really don't know.
I don't
the
know.
Bears are the ones I'm going to be watching to see what happens. I'm kind of intrigued by what's going on there.
Yeah.
Texans are going to be something to be. The Texans are what the Jaguars were 2 or 3 years ago. So.
Yeah, but I kind of have a little more faith in the Jags. A little bit more faith because I don't know if last year was kind of a fluke.
Well, see, that's the longer.
I'm not shortchanging CJ by any stretch of the imagination, okay? I don't want any Houston Texans fans coming at me. Yes, Denzel Snipes, I am talking to you, mi amigo.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No, I do not.
That's way too conspiracy theory, James, because honestly, yeah, you want to say that some teams will get more calls than other teams. Well, yeah, that happens because the better team is going to get the better calls. That's just how the sport is. But Goodell's not doing this wild, rampant conspiracy theory. I don't think. And why wouldn't Goodell want Brady to be the GOAT of the postseason? Take out your fandom. Take out your homerism. Take it out. But if you think about it, and I'm not taking anything away from Mahomes either, because I think Mahomes will end up winning more. But
here's what I think is each decade, the game, or each decade, each, yeah, I'm gonna say decade or generation, you're gonna have people. So Brady he's a lot, people we heard forever. He's a lot like Brady, or he is accurate. Like we heard comparison to Brady forever, right?
Yeah.
And the measuring stick was Brady. Well, who's the measuring stick now?
Yeah.
So I think it's more, there's generational, and it's not generation like we see in everyday life. It's generation of the sport. So we're in a new generation where it's offense heavy. We've been, if you think in the 80s and the Super Bowl shuffle from the Bears, it was defense centric, right? It was grind, grit, and
I will
tackle.
say that I personally still believe that dynasties are built on defenses. Patrick Mahomes is kind of your D is not shabby. But James, how does Roger Goodell hate Tom Brady? I'm pretty sure the only quarterback that he's hated in the last 15, 20 years was Cam Newton. I'm pretty sure. I don't think it was ever Tom Brady.
Brady has brought too much money into the NFL. So why would he disparage on Brady?
Why would he hate? I mean,
so
Goodell even let people who are murder adjacent NFL players stay in the league. You like how I said that? Oh God. James, Deflategate, come on now. We all know that was overcompensation for Cheatersgate. That my man, Agent 89, Steve Smith, called out in the 04 Super Bowl. Just saying. Hashtag, and yeah, I remember that. But no, that's not why, because honestly, like, even then, and Carrie knows this, I've never been a huge Patriots fan. I will be rooting for Drake May, though, this year. Go, Drake. But
yeah, I won't be, but go ahead.
I'm gonna need you to root for one player, Carrie. One player. You can hate everybody else.
It's gonna be interesting to see what happens in honestly, because the Belichick era is over. The Brady era was already over. Belichick era is over. Now what's gonna happen in Patriots?
Yeah.
That will be interesting.
Yeah, it will be. I'm kind of excited to see that. Yeah, they're gonna have some growing pains, but I am excited to see Drake go through and show everybody what he's made of. And no, I will not ever buy. Well, we can't go there.
Okay, so here's the thing about Colin Kaepernick, Brady, those people. They are a burr in the side.
Uh-huh.
But that's what brings in the viewership. So,
well, and in all honesty, like, if you want to bring up Colin Kaepernick and not liking him, then you're going to say the same thing about Eric Reed. And Eric Reed got back into the league. And I know that because he lived in the building I used to live in, and when he played for the Panthers. Great guy. Really liked him a lot. And so I don't think you can say that. I will say that I do not like Colin Kaepernick because honestly, his numbers were dwindling, and he uses one thing as an excuse for not being in the league. And he's the one who turned down an NFL contract.
It was not a starting quarterback.
Right. He was going to be a backup, but he was still going to be paid like a starter. But still, just go to PFF. Just go to, but stop using it as an excuse as to why you're not in the league anymore. You're not in the league because you had a bad attitude, and you can see it written all over your face, and you're not in the league anymore because along with that bad attitude, your numbers were dwindling. Just saying.
Agreed.
Actually, that's a rumor that was out there because I happen to know that both Jerry and David have entered, like, let him try out for the Panthers. And he was not taken because skill set wise, nobody would have been a better backup for Cam Newton than Colin Kaepernick. But there was something there. I'm sorry, I'm coughing. I apologize. Yeah. And that one team was his team. It was the 49ers. But Eric Reed was still playing until. Did he play for the Texans after us with his brother?
That I don't remember.
And there were plenty of people who were kneeling. And
the Chiefs had people that kneeled.
Yeah. Every single team had players who kneeled. So
which is why they took the do you remember that they used to show us at the kickoff games on every Sunday that we would get to see the national anthem played?
Yeah.
And they've virtually taken that away from a lot of that.
Well, and here's the thing. That wasn't even on air pre 9/11. That only came about after 9/11 at being on the air and the players being on the field for the national anthem, to my understanding. With the players being on the field, they may have been on there pre 9/11, but yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't know.
Yeah, you have to. That was the rebirth of Americanism, nationalism, whatever you were. Huh?
That would be a good thing to have back.
For real. I'm tired of this whole divided we fall. Absolutely. That's where we are right now. Yeah. So, yeah.
And we still have people coming into our country, and good for them because they see what people here can't see right now. So, just saying. Off my political tirade now. So, guys and gals, we're really sorry that Marcus couldn't make it tonight. We're gonna try. I'm gonna try to meet up with him next week to fix everything. So if y'all get a chance, go look on the Charlotte subreddit and just read his story. He took a bullet that was meant for his wife, and he is now paraplegic, and he did some studying, and he's not trying to like reinvent the wheelchair. He's trying to come up with another mobile device that will help paraplegic athletes, Special Olympics, so many people around the world, and just day-to-day living. And I know that touches a lot of people's hearts. So super excited to have him as soon as we can get him on. And we have a couple other guests that I need to reach out to come on too.
I think that AI and where it is now was born out of the need, out of the desire to help those that were missing abilities. So how can technology help those that can't walk and all this? So I feel like that a side effect of people trying to help others and invent things like Marcus is working on is the father of this whole AI and the modernization, bringing that to every aspect of our life.
Absolutely.
Which is kind of scary because of what I know about privacy. That's my jam in the business world. So knowing what the privacy laws and what happens when something gets into that AI chat GPT, it's never gone.
Yeah.
It's out. I'm like, it cannot be pulled back. And so there's a lot of things that are very frightening in the fact that when things get into that chat AGP or GPT with AI, it's gone. It's now everybody's knowledge. It's not companies, it's not yours, it's gone. It's now free range, and AI can also take it and work with it on its own. So it's impressive. It's impressive what people with disabilities are able to do with the technology, where they can have a module in their brain help them use a hand that they don't have.
Yeah.
So lots of things out there. So I'm excited to hear what, things that he's doing. my mom was, for those that know me or know of our story, my mom, who I lost last year, was a paraplegic because of a mishap after surgery. So it's very impressive, the delicacy of what a spinal cord is and how things are coming and being adapted to help those that have those spinal cord injuries. So I'm excited to hear what he has to offer and what he's found and all this.
Yeah, me too. And it's just so inspiring. Like, honestly, like I was just talking, we were just chatting away on Facebook or on Reddit, and I was like, "You want to come on the show?" It's like, so
there are times I sit there and think, and you'll have to forgive my lame analogy, but Dirty Dancing was a big movie that
love it.
There's so many great one-lines in it, right? People that are out here developing things that are going to impact humanity and make a difference and, have lasting effects. And then there's me. And I feel like my whole thing is I carried the watermelon, I want to be a cheerleader. I'm going to pick up and help it along. But all I've done with life is I carried the watermelon. So I've been behind the scenes helping and rooting for those that are doing greatness. But my legacy is I carried a watermelon.
But that's an important legacy to have because everybody's going to start somewhere. And you've done more than just carry a watermelon. Thank you.
Well, no, that's just my analogy of my, the whole, if you were to summarize your entire life, I carried a watermelon. It was important and it was needed at the time.
No, you've done more than that.
It's funny to me. And I'm not dissing that. And there's not everybody is going to have a thumbprint that you put it on the entire planet, but everybody leaves a thumbprint behind. So, that being said, I often admiring those that have these things that they can do that I have no idea. I can't even fathom the mental Olympics they're doing in their brain to get to that part. So,
right.
Yeah.
Well, I just put in our YouTube club link. If you guys don't mind, please subscribe. Oh, yay. Thanks for letting us know, James. Caitlin just scored our first ever basketball in the majors.
Good job, Caitlin.
And I will say this. I know we just, sorry, are about to end, but I do know that, I'm blanking on her name. College coach. Sorry. I should know this. I don't know why I'm blanking. Lisa Bluter has announced her retirement as well. So Iowa will be rebounding and looking for a new coach with some major shoes to fill.
James, one of the things Caitlin said when she was coming to the league was learning how to play in the more aggressive schemes. I don't know what the right word is, but changing from college to professional. She said she did say I anticipate it being a rough start. So yeah. I mean, I hate that for her, but at the same time, it's like getting a promotion at work. You were fantastic at this, obviously, because they offered you a promotion, and now you step up to something else, and you're like, think I did better in the other one, so I want to go back. But
yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. It doesn't surprise me, and I'm pretty sure some of the fouls have been forced, because the WNBA players were put on alert with Caitlin Clark. Like, I mean, she and Angel Reese pretty much single-handedly increased the viewership, and for college women's basketball, and 2 years in a row they had higher numbers for their championships than the men's.
I think Caitlin, I think Angel are going to have to do a whole lot of proving, and that's okay.
Yeah. And you know what? They'll do fine. And I actually kind of wondered if Bluter isn't going to be helping Caitlin a little bit acclimate to the WNBA.
I did read. I was going to put. I know we're over, and I have some things that you need to get up here for. I did just find something very interesting that 9 of the 12 first round picks in the WNBA got deals, but 3 of them opted out of even being a part of team practices. Do you know that?
Money. They probably made more money with NIL deals than they are in the WNBA. I think I make more money as working for my bank than most of the WNBA players do. I may be wrong on that. I think Caitlin's like actual rookie contract was like $50,000.
I think that we're going to see the end of, at some point, it doesn't matter what the contracts are, because those with NILs coming out of college, getting them at college level are going to be far more business astute by the time they reach the professional level, that we'll see that whole thing change and shift a little bit, in my opinion. And I've also got a penny, which is about what my opinion would be worth. So keeping it, but I think that we're going to see a shift in the way salaries are looked at.
Well, guys, I'm going to make one more comment, James, and then I'll let Kari close this up. But LeBron is easily the most naturally gifted men's NBA player to have ever played the game. Naturally gifted. That being said, he will not ever be the GOAT because there's a debate. Once there's a debate, you ain't the GOAT. And if you grew up watching Michael Jordan, there ain't no debate. There just isn't. Love or hate him.
Well, that's also the same thing as that whole generation thing.
Right. And LeBron gives up on his team.
There are things that I don't like about Mahomes is his voice currently, and the fact that he feels like he should be all 53 players when we start not gelling on the field. But each player that is in conversations or across all genres, well, there they go. Well, there's this, and this they do. Because honestly, we're all human. Even those greats are human. So there are human traits that are going to have them have different outcomes. LeBron is sometimes very hard for me to enjoy because he doesn't come across as the everyday guy, someone that if you ran into him at the street corner, he's going to say hi to you or have a conversation. He might, the instinct that you feel is he's not that warm, prickly. He's more prickly than warm, fuzzy about interactions with humans, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Michael Jordan, while he was very, very competitive, he also had a side that was approachable, that kids naturally, and fans conglomerated around him. So there's each those characteristics. I think Tom Brady is he has fantastic player. He really was. And I joke about it that I don't have to like him, and I don't even make any mince about it. But he doesn't have that approachability, whereas other players, Josh Allen, my gosh, he looks like he's the guy that's up at the corner going to be baling hay in 2 weeks out my backyard.
Jason Kelsey hanging out together, because that'd be a hoot and a holler.
Oh my Lord. I think they would level it ground.
All right, girl.
The Kelsey brothers do have a farm.
Yeah. That's true. He does. I forgot that.
Yep.
All right. Well, if anybody has any suggestions for us or any topics you guys want us to cover, please hit us up either on our YouTube page. I've got the link somewhere. James, I'm taking down your comment. Or you can also hit us up on Facebook. You can PM any one of us, or obviously you can hit me up on Reddit too. All right. Thanks, guys. Kari, thank you.
Have a great one.